Hey there, my friends. It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And here we are again, my friends. We have another opportunity to spend some time together today. Hear another story from one of our clients here who's gone through our education and try to change, the not only trajectory of anyone who wants to, build a business online, but also to change the way in which people get results with products and services in courses and self-development products. The average person who buys any how-to information online, and even right here in Legendary, unfortunately, gets no results at all. Gosh, why do I say that? Because it's true. And I like to believe that that is because people are, creatures of habit, and it can be very difficult to change your habits. It can be very difficult to start something new. It can be very difficult to overcome your limiting beliefs or certain beliefs that you have around yourself and the world. And so we do this show to try to give you a behind the scenes look at what it actually takes to be successful. And what what these people are doing that we have on the show. And we've had now nearly 900 of these episodes, these conversations behind the scene, nearly an hour long, all of them go, and many of them could go much longer than that, where we're giving you a behind the scenes take on what these folks are actually doing to experience the success that they are, so you can try to apply some of those principles and borrow some of the success principles that they're using inside of your own life and business. Each one of these guests has never been prepped or scripted. I've not talked to the person except for a, hey, how you doing? Ready to rock and roll. And then we go live. And I'm excited to bring yet again another amazing guest. This time it's Tascha Bartek from Phoenix, Arizona, a full-time director of corporate training, and is having some success with her brand new online digital marketing business. Let's hear how she did it. Tascha, welcome to the show.
Hi, so excited to be here.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm excited to have you. And so did everything sound accurate in that intro before I brought you on?
Yep, 100% accurate.
Good. I know you chatted a little bit with Joanne back behind the scenes there, but it sounded pretty informal. And then when I jumped on, of course, my famous words are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah. I even asked, is there any questions I should be prepared to answer? Like I like to be prepared. She's like, nope, you just got to tell your story. I'm like, okay, here we go.
Yeah, we want to make sure that people are getting, an accurate representation of what you have experienced here, and also knowing that your story is most likely, is absolutely not going to be their story. So my friends, as you're listening to Tascha's story, remember that it's on you to create your own destiny, to blaze your own trail. At the same time, let's see what we can learn from each other. So what brought you here in the first place? What led you here? What were you looking for? Do you feel like you found it? To bring us up to speed as far as how you got here.
All right. So it's kind of interesting. I had never heard of affiliate or digital marketing before. You think I would, because I've clicked lots of those buttons and gone through the whole sales process like a million times. I am the ultimate buyer, but I had never heard of it before. So it started with people. I had somebody come out to look at my backyard. I need to have my backyard redone. And they quoted $75,000. Now, I make really good money at my job, but to save $75,000 to get my backyard redone is like not really possible anytime soon. So I started just looking into ways to make money online, and make money on the side. Like I'm thinking, if I could work an hour or two and just make some extra cash here and there to put towards my backyard fund, And that's, I Instagram, you scrolling and you search, and then next thing you know, there's 500 people on there telling you how to make money doing affiliate marketing. So that's really how I got my foot in the door. And in my mind, I thought $7, I spend that like in my sleep sometimes. I mean, just driving through Starbucks, I don't even know. I spend $7 like nothing. I know that's bad. I definitely have learned a lot about my financial mindset through this process, so that I do want to talk about that. But yeah, I was like, $7, shoot, I'll do that all day long. Let's check it out. And oh my God, I didn't know what I was like embarking upon. So that was the beginning.
Yeah, I get the spending $7 and twice on Sunday whole approach. I think that what's ironic is a lot of times we'll spend money on things that are sort of anti helping us, but then when it comes time to indulgences, right? Again, a Starbucks coffee for me as I sip my coffee here, which is I like to think I'm a coffee connoisseur. I'll for coffee, come on. I buy two at a time when I go to Starbucks, one hot, one cold, but then when we look at
you're a $15 sale.
But when we consider something that could help us, we want to do lots of research and due diligence. At least that's a lot of people's approach. So I'm glad to hear that you're just as excited to spend money on something to improve your life as something that can possibly be a vice. What do you mean that you didn't know what you were in for? I mean, what sort of what did you expect, and then what did you experience?
So I did not do any due diligence. I kind of am a dive in head first kind of person. So I just saw that people were making money doing this, selling this course for $7. In my mind, $7 wasn't a whole lot. So I didn't know. I didn't know what digital marketing was. I didn't know what affiliate marketing. I didn't know. And I bought the $7 course, and within the first 2 to 3 days, I was so fired up. So I am a director of corporate training. For a living, I help people learn the skills they need to do their job. That's what I do for a living. And so when I started to do this, and you dig right in, there is it's no cutting to the chase. So within the first couple days, I'm like, holy crap, I can take my knowledge and my abilities to talk to people and teach people and help them learn the skills that they need to be successful in other things outside of what I teach in my normal day-to-day life, and make money doing it. That's insane. I was just so fired up. And so I couldn't wait. I joined during a time when the business advisors were super backed up. And so I'm bugging my poor guy. He already was like, leave me alone. It's like, can you fit me in? Can you fit me in? I need to get moving forward in this. And so this whole journey was embarking on something that I had never understood or never knew. And so I know a lot of people do a lot of due diligence and stuff. I was thinking, I'm just going to learn a skill I'm going to go, because at this point there was a lot of side hustle-y videos. And so I'm I'm going to learn how to do a little something that's going to teach me how to do a little something that's going to earn me some money. But it is so much more than that. And the one piece that I do, this is something that I do talk about from time to time in my videos, but the financial mindset that you get from going through this course is insane. Recognizing my shopping habits, recognizing how many times I've gone through a darn sales funnel and they've upsold me all the way up the ladder. I'm so upsold. But it makes you realize and recognize things that you never even like, it blew my mind. I was just, and then taking a step back and really recognizing my financial outlook on things, I really appreciated the 15-day challenge for that purpose, because like your millionaire mindset, understanding what an entrepreneur, all these things, it's so much more than just learning how to go do a skill. I just have to commend you for that. I really, I appreciate all of those things about it. So.
Well, good, and thank you for actually going through the education. That is one of the reasons why so many people get so little results with any how-to program, including this one. This is no different than so many different courses, or even as a corporate trainer, I'm sure you see people come through and just kind of, nowadays with phones, they're on their phone, they're worried about what's going on somewhere else, they're anywhere but where they are. They don't want to take the time to learn the skill set. Are you also realizing, and I can see and I understand that you are passionate about the online business niche, but you can also see how these are transferable skills in the core 4 business models that we teach to sell information online, the 4 ways to sell information online, the 4 core ways: courses, coaching, events, or doing affiliate marketing for somebody else's, are such a transferable skill in business model, and also something that's worldwide and applies to so many different niches that you may have never thought of before.
Yes. So that is what got me so fired up, because I would say about 10 years ago in my career, I used to travel and train people live and in person. And I started learning about this whole thing. And like I said, how I could take knowledge and then transfer it to other people outside of my corporate environment. I in my heart was like, I just need to get out there and start telling people about this. It was like, I was so excited. I just couldn't even wait. And the idea of doing courses, obviously that's a no-brainer for me, but doing the events, like, I really want to get to that point. And I'm going to tell you, I originally, so I started my, my 15-day challenge at the end of June, which butted into 4th of July, which is why there was a little bit of a delay. But I launched July 16th. And when I launched July 16th, I thought, well, by November, I'm going to be doing events. That's what I'm going to be doing. That's what I had in my mind. But it's interesting because you have to take the time to really learn the business. And so I've recognized that too, is that all of the pieces and everything that you learn through the 15-day Business Builder Challenge and the blueprints. I mean, if there's people on this call that are questioning whether to get the blueprints or not, I'm just going to tell you that they are so beyond valuable. But the blueprints contain so much cool information about so many things, but still you have to kind of get experience before you could go out and do these things. And so since I've been in the business now for about 6 months, I do see a lot of people who launch and then they immediately want to do the coaching. But the thing is like, you kind of have to get some experience before you could really, go out and coach. And so I recognize that now. And so I see myself in the years to come, doing more coaching and events and things. And I'm super excited about all of that. But I've had to pull the reins back on myself a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's such a good point that, before you start, coaching people, you want to have knowledge and you want to try to gain experience any way that you can. I talk about in the coaching blueprint, going and getting clients and offering your services for free, to gain your first testimonials, to gain your first case studies, to gain experience. There's always, the obvious ways to work or mentor under somebody for a period of time for free or for very little pay. I mean, these are age-old, timeless ways to gain experience. There's also, starting with affiliate marketing in any niche and then gaining experience promoting somebody else's product so you can learn the marketing side of the business, and then moving into the operations and fulfillment side of the business, which is one of the reasons why we included affiliate marketing inside of the core four models. Obviously, courses, coaching, events are kind of the core three ways to sell information that can turn into a significant profit. Book writing is really not one of those core ways. And the reason why like book writing wasn't included in that is because the majority of authors are kind of like, and I don't have data to back this up, I just have, experience with authors who have, wrote a book and sold it and thought they were going to get rich and realized, damn, there's a lot of cost if I'm having a physical copy, et cetera, et cetera. I got to sell, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of copies. It's kind of like selling music, like most musicians make their money from doing concerts and merch sales and things of that nature. So why there's a lot of, or now YouTubing and things of that nature. Anyways, I digress. But we included affiliate marketing because it's a great foot in to the information in digital product space world. And you can stay in that as long as you want. And one of the really cool things, and I'm trying to communicate this more and more even to our affiliates who are affiliates of Legendary, that you can still stay an affiliate of a product or course or event that you're promoting, even if you then decide to add a coaching element or course element or events element to your business.
Yeah.
These business models are stackable.
Yeah.
So you can add to and expand your business. It's not a job where you have to replace one with the other, or worse yet, which is one of the things that I'm also educating and setting boundaries with. You don't have to negate everything that you've done or disparage a previous company or product or person that you've affiliated with in order to move on to something else. You can add to instead of replace and start over. So there's levels, but I think the main point that you brought up, and I am so glad that you recognize this, is that yes, coaching absolutely, like anything, requires responsibility. And there's a great foot in to gain that responsibility and that experience by taking education, by working for free or mentoring under people, or taking those first clients for a very low cost, or maybe in exchange for a testimonial from them. That was my kind of main point was, hey, I'm going to do this because I'm starting out. And if I do a great job, is all I ask in return is a testimonial from you. So now you start to build your kind of, your word of mouth, you have somebody record it on their iPhone, whatever. Now you begin to build this test, but you can get into it by doing affiliate marketing, and it's a great place to start. So being in front of people, being a corporate trainer, working in the regular corporate world, was it a new experience for you to do all this online and both learning and staying focused on the education online, but also then applying using a phone and putting yourself out there on video? What was that leap like, or transition like for you? And how did you adjust to getting comfortable, staying focused, and not getting intimidated by the camera?
So it's kind of funny because prior to this, I had never done a reel before. Like had no idea what a reel was. I posted pictures. I had, Facebook and Instagram. I'd never been on TikTok. As a matter of fact, me and TikTok were not really friends, but I still have it. It's still there, but it's like barely hanging on. But the big thing is, like I said, I'm a jump right head, dive right in kind of person. So I just started doing it and fumbling my way through it, learning how to make captions. I mean, I'm going to tell you, I probably still have not mastered doing a good hook. Like sometimes I think that my mind gets too far in the weeds, and learning to pull yourself back and trying to think about what was I thinking about when I started this? Because sometimes I talk about things like people should already know what I'm talking about. And then I have to recognize, like, they don't even know, they may not even know what I'm talking about. So I've done a lot of push and pull in my content over time. And the other part is that there's been like little clumps of time where I've focused on different things. So like I was focused on AI for a little bit, and I was like talking about all the different AI tools and things like that. And so I think one of the biggest pieces of that I've learned along the way is when they say niche down, to really, really like figure that out. But for me, not ever having done affiliate or digital marketing in the past, I didn't understand what that meant by niche down until probably a couple months ago. Like, I mean, I was still like this fish swimming around the sea going, what am I doing out here? And so my point is that for those people that are like scared to start or not sure, or want to, really understand every single aspect, sometimes it's just a matter of getting yourself out there and starting, and then you learn as you go, because there isn't really, will you through this education learn more and more? The more you attend Wake Up Legendaries, the more that you read through all the comments and the questions on all of the Facebook stuff, like you're going to learn more every single day. But the truth is that you're going to learn the most just by doing it. And so if you're one of those people who are really struggling to start, I say just do it. Messy, like Joanne says. Be messy. And that's okay.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, ignorance on fire is a great way to start learning. And, it's called OJT where I come from. My father is a carpenter and plumber, and, it was certain, if I was out on the job by myself without him, I would have hurt myself and had no idea what I was doing. So that guidance and that direction was extremely helpful. However, until I put the hammer in my hand and started swinging it, I never had any clue to really look out for that thumb, or to really pay attention to who was around me. So to make sure I didn't hit him on the backswing, or to measure twice so you could only cut once.
Yeah.
I mean, so yes, and I say this all the time. I mean, people can do affiliate marketing or create courses, coaching, or events without going through legendary education. I mean,
True.
we don't have, it's not like a copyrighted thing. We're just teaching these business models, like the same way that there's hundreds of, or I would assume hundreds, maybe even thousands of universities in the country that are teaching business and marketing. And there may not be hundreds or thousands of companies like ours, but we certainly didn't invent these. We just are trying to guide people and direct people and provide a supportive community and provide resources to get you headed in the right direction. I think the mistake comes when somebody approaches this like it's a lottery ticket.
Yes.
And thinks that if they buy a course that they're entitled to a result. And that's where your very wise yet very obvious and very simple comment about you learn the most when you do it is so imperative to understand. So what has surprised you about being really difficult that you thought was going to be easy, and something that's really easy that you thought was going to be difficult?
So I'm pretty techie, but the systems situation was like a pain in the ass. There was a point where I thought I was going to throw my computer out this window. I was like, sucks. This is pissing me off. Like, I can't get it right. Why isn't my funnel connected to my this and that? And oh God, I was so frustrated And then I was frustrated and I couldn't get answers right away. And so, that was something I thought would be easy. That was much more difficult. But the thing is once you do it once, then it is easy. So, I think it's important to understand, like, once you get everything set up and your funnels are set up and all your systems are all connected the way it needs to be, then it's done. It's easy to then add on additional funnels. It's easy to add on additional email campaigns and things like that. So that would be the easy versus difficult. I don't know that I necessarily expected anything to be difficult so much. That has been easy. I've definitely had a journey in this. I've stumbled so much along the way, which has been hard at times. And then other times I've learned a lot. And so I think the big thing is that, I try to very hard, like how you mentioned, connecting with people and doing free coaching and stuff. I don't call myself a coach or a mentor or anything, but when there are people out there that are asking questions and they need help, I always say, reach out. I'll try to help you as much as I can. And that is including, like, I have taken time and gone on Zoom calls and shared screens and click this button, click that button, because sometimes it's just a matter of having somebody else with you walking through that process. And a lot of people who start this struggle with the people who reach out. When I reached out for help, it was like, well, you've got to pay me for this. You got to pay me for that. And I get it. That's what this is all about, making money. But at the same time, when you're just getting started and you're somewhat trying to be thoughtful about the money you're spending, when you're just throwing money out the window for 20 minutes of help here and an hour of help there, it gets kind of a lot. So I have always been, since I've learned this, tried to be the type of person that people can reach out to and ask questions and just be helpful. I mean, it is honestly in my heart, I would rather help people every single day more than anything in the world. Do I want to make money along the way? Of course. I have a backyard that needs $75,000 worth of work. So I make money along the way, but that's not my number one. That's not where my heart is. My heart truly is in just helping people learn, helping people understand. And that's really where I'm at. So back to your question, I don't know that there's anything that in my mind I thought was difficult. I guess maybe once it comes time to actually do the coaching and events, maybe that will be a little more difficult than I anticipated, but I'm not there yet. So I don't really know, but yeah.
Well, cool. So you mentioned learning a lot, and I would expect nothing less. Now, having talked to you, what have you learned about yourself through this journey?
Oh gosh, I've learned so much about myself. Well, number one, about my shopping habits, obviously, and the upsells and all of those good things, the pills and potions and all the stuff. So, honestly, I would say the biggest thing that I have learned about myself is money mindset. My money mindset. And that's why I think I think that is one of those underlying things that maybe as Legendary as a whole doesn't recognize, that they really help people understand as they're going through this process. And it's not like the course is meant to teach you about money. That's not what I'm saying. But learning about that entrepreneurial mindset and learning about, how you're spending money and things like that, it really is revealing. It was revealing for me. And then the other part I would say in general is just, and this is something that I've always kind of known about myself, but is perseverance. So I wanted to mention, you've said, you've kind of mentioned a few times where people have taken Legendary and not been successful in it. And I can understand that, just because it does take a lot of dedication and a lot of perseverance. And for people who are watching some of these wonderful ladies and gentlemen who are out there making millions and doing amazing, it's great to see that. But I think that a lot of times people buy this course with the idea that that's going to be them. And I think that it's important for people to recognize that it takes time and work and dedication. And for me, I work full time. Like, I work sometimes 50, 60 hours a week. Plus I have 2 kids at home. So I am a very busy person. To get started with this, I had to get up at 4:30 or 5 a.m. And I was up sometimes until 9:30 or 10 o'clock at night, going through the course, getting things set up. Like, you have to know that you're going to have to make some sacrifices and dedicate yourself to this. And you need to give yourself time, because I've had a few people who have started around the same time as me who've already given up because they weren't instantly successful. And so, if you're not in it for the long haul, I say don't even start at all. Why even put your effort into it? You have to. I mean, I'm 6 months in. I've had some success, but I wouldn't say I'm overly successful. But I am enjoying the journey more than anything, and the knowledge that I've gained and everything has just been amazing. So I have taken other courses too, like after this, because things come to you and you're like, oh, what's this about or that about? I love Legendary. So I just do. Everything that comes with the blueprints and everything, I really do love Legendary. So,
well, thank you.
Yes. Good job, Dave.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And this is really great to hear. It's very relatable. It's very realistic. It's what anybody should expect. And it's not going to be a cakewalk. I can tell you that I sort of feel like an old guy who, back in my day, we had to walk those ways uphill barefoot, to make $1 online. Nowadays it's, I almost feel like sometimes I'm talking about, the drugs that are out in the streets compared to the ones that were back around in my day. It's like nowadays, everything's so much more potent and powerful, and the expectations are so much bigger. And 6 months into it, I don't know if I'd made a single dollar 6 months into this. 6 months into this, I was still, I had been beat, battered, and bruised from an offline network marketing business that I came kind of crawling on the internet, licking my wounds, looking for, anything, and when I started actually, taking some action after my own procrastination back in 2010 or 9, man, it was so slow. It was like watching paint dry. I was not celebrating money. I was celebrating generating leads.
Yeah.
That was the big thing for me back then. It was generating leads. It was building my email list. It was building my social media channels. I wasn't even looking at money because I wasn't making any. And so, I get that. And, the social media platforms are so much more powerful these days. They really will put you, if you are good and you do create awesome content and marketing, and you really learn what to do or know what to do, and you can reach millions of people, and that creates incredible amounts of traffic that you can drive to any product or service or any sales funnel or website that you want to. And that is not luck. One viral video sure can be luck. But that's why I say, and have said so many times on this show specifically, that a viral video can be more of a curse than it can be a gift to a lot of people, because they have one, and they have one, and then that's all they ever want. And so it's like hitting a home run, and then you never ever focus on base hits anymore. And so everything's a failure if you don't hit a home run. And it's
Yeah.
like, no success was ever built on all home runs. I mean, if you look at the best batters in the world, they're I mean, if they got a 300 batting average, that means they made contact and got to first base 3 out of 10 times. Not that they hit a home run. But see, this is the stuff that it's so hard when somebody comes to try to pursue entrepreneurship. We've been so conditioned that it's hard to unlearn some of these beliefs or expectations or limiting beliefs that we have. So yes, the mindset stuff's important, and I really think that it's the most important. It's just not always the sexiest. So
Yeah,
people
I agree.
don't want to hear it. They interpret it as like motivational speaking,
Yeah.
and it's not motivational speaking. As a matter of fact, I try to stay away from any motivational speaking. I rant and rave, but I don't portray myself as a motivational speaker, because people don't need motivation. They
Mhm.
need to change the way that they see themselves in the world, and the expectations that they have, the boundaries that they have, the focus that they have. So what are some of the things that you've had to change in your personal life in order to make this work? How have you needed to set new boundaries? How have you needed to change, adjust the 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 people in your life, the people, places, and things that you're spending time with? I mean, you said that this has brought some awareness around to money making, uh,
Mhm.
or money spending habits and money management. What else have you had to change or realized that is important if you're going to be successful as an independent business owner and entrepreneur?
So I would say the biggest thing is where I'm spending my time. So up into this point, I like to be on the go. I work from home. So when work is over, I'm like, well, where can we go? And what can we do? Like, get out of the house kind of thing. So this, doing the course and going through that process, obviously I was at home a lot, and then recognizing my spending habits. And so all of it came down to really taking a step back and recognizing that I needed to focus more on myself and my education, more than just being out and about and doing whatever it is that I was doing that was meaningless. So, I mean, I very much enjoy hanging out with my friends. I very much enjoy, going to a fun bar, listening to music, whatever it may be. I enjoy my kids. I love to support them in all their sports and different things. And so there's certain things that don't go away with this. But when you start to recognize that your time is precious and time is money. So the time that I spend dedicating towards my business and the time that I spend dedicating towards my education and furthering my education so that I could grow my business has become so much more important than some of the other meaningless things that I have done just to fill my time. And I would say that has been, a very, somewhat big adjustment in my life, because I'm at home more than I probably ever have been. I've become more of a homebody than I ever have been. But I am very much enjoying the journey. And that is the other part that if I could just impress upon some people is, instead of being so focused on how much money you want to make or how much money you're looking to make, focus a little bit on enjoying the journey and the knowledge that you're gaining along the way, and what you could use that knowledge for in other areas of your life. So you kind of mentioned, like, you're not here just to teach people affiliate marketing. You're teaching them business model in general. Although the affiliate marketing gets your foot in the door real quick. Like, I started I started this journey end of June, and by July 16th, I was launching an online business, which to me like is unheard of, right? So yes, it does teach you all different types of business models, affiliate marketing, get your foot in the door. And there's so many other things that you could do with that and learn from it. But I think just taking the time to enjoy the journey is really important. Not saying that we're not all in this to make money. Obviously, that's part of having an online business, is to make money. But enjoying the journey, enjoying the knowledge. I'm like a knowledge is power kind of person, obviously, being a trainer in my life. I preach that. And the second thing I preach is attitude is everything. If you don't have a good attitude about it, it's never going to work for you. So if in your mind you think you can't, then you're right. I mean, I've read this saying. There's a girl that I follow. Her name's Susanna, and she puts at the bottom of her every single post, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that really resonates because it's so true. If you think in your mind, I can't, like it's difficult to to persevere through that into the I can mindset. So that's my fun.
I love that. And it's so important to enjoy the journey. One of the reasons why is because once you do start to achieve certain or hit certain milestones, that's not where fulfillment comes from.
Right.
Fulfillment doesn't come at the end of the race. Fulfillment comes from the race and the preparation for the race. I was reading something, I can't cite what it is, but it was something about the satisfaction that people get from planning and leading up to a vacation versus the vacation itself.
Mm-hmm.
And you think about that. It's like, wow, how many times have you got on a trip and you had it all built up? You were so excited to go leading up to it. Oh my God, we're going to be in the mountains, or oh my God, we're going to New York City or Italy. And then you got there and it's like, damn, that old grass is greener on the other side, wanted to be anywhere but where I am, kicked in right where you were at. Just like it was leading up to the vacation, is all you could think about was being in this place. And then once you got there, it was like, damn, Now, I'm not saying you didn't enjoy the vacation. I'm just saying
leaving the vacation is always hard.
Sure, of course. However, the journey, that saying, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, is not one of the most popular cliches for no reason. It's because millions of people before us have pursued achievement and realized that the achievement itself wasn't actually like the most rewarding thing. It was everything leading up to, even you hear it every day in sports. Champions, people winning. I just watched Michigan win the national championship the other night, and is all that. Nobody talked about the game. Nobody talked about the championship game. It was a blip. It was a blip on the radar. It was all about the year, the team, the camaraderie, the love, getting there, how much they'd overcome. Success leaves clues. You look and you listen to any champion along the way, they don't talk about the winning game. They don't talk about how fulfilled and amazing they are standing up, holding that trophy up. That's only a blip. It's the journey getting there. And so embracing that journey makes the whole process more enjoyable, because we stop becoming so fixated on an outcome. And when you become detached from outcomes, your life changes, because now all of a sudden you're not so wound up or disappointed when things don't work out as you hoped they would. You give it your best, you do what you can, and then you detach from the outcome and say, whatever the outcome is, It's out of my control. It's in God's hands. It's in the universe's hands. I am going to let it go. I'm going to do my best. I'm not going to be fixated about that end result. I'm going to be fixated about what I can do. It's why when I got clean nearly 15 years ago, they tried to teach me the principle of just for today. Because when every addict or alcoholic goes to get sober, the thought of never drinking again is so overwhelming. They say, just don't drink for today, just don't use for today, and then deal with tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a great lesson.
Well, it's taken a long time to even to even sink in, because it's so hard to not regret the past and have fear and anxiety about the future. Will this turn out the way that I want it? It's like we're like children inside. We have to have it, and we have to have it a certain way. And if it doesn't, oh my God, I'm just gonna die. When in reality, does it ever really turn out exactly how you want it? I mean, we are so powerless in reality. To outcomes and to the bigger picture. I mean, we aren't even in control of what goes on in our own bodies. Did you think anybody woke up and said, I'd like to have cancer today? I'd like to have a heart attack today. I mean, we're not even in control of what happens in our own bodies. So, take that with a grain of salt, friends. Obviously, we can do certain preventative measures, but I think you all get the point.
Yeah.
And so enjoying that journey, I'm just loving that you brought that up, because it really is a powerful concept and practice when we can detach from outcomes, because if we were to try to set a goal, we usually would shortchange ourselves anyways from what is possible, because we don't know what we don't know. And we don't really know what's possible. We don't really know. How can you write out what you want when you've never been there before?
Yeah. That was like when I said, when I got started, I was like, by November, I'm going to be hosting events and all these things. And then as I got started, a real reality check was like, oh, nope, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, your attitude. And I love that you brought that up, that you teach that's part of your daily conversation in your job. And also here is because, your attitude is everything. I mean, your attitude is actually what brings you happiness. It's not a result.
Right.
It's not a result.
That's true.
I mean, I know plenty of people who are rich and mad and bitter and are still not happy because their tolerance for certain things are so high. I have a mentor. He's a therapist and it's turned into a great friend, somebody who I'm in a group with. And he's been a true mentor of mine for about 7 years. And, he talks about finding, and we joke all the time because I've had this saying here in Legendary, buck average, be legendary, right? And he's got this saying of dare to be average, right? So you can find the brilliance in the regular moments of life. Like you talked about your children's games and stuff. I mean, that's actually, I see all these people with all these big dreams and visions, and the same ones that I had when I first started this journey about being rich and traveling the world and all this kind of stuff. And then now is all I want to do is just be home and be around my kids and go to their ball games and dance, recite.
Be present. Be present.
Yeah.
That's important. It's important.
Yeah. Just to have a life where, so we all have our own journey. We all have to learn these lessons on our own, but sometimes it is nice to hear from people who have, gone down the road and come back and said, hey, look, it's awesome, but it's not that great up there. It's not going to find ultimate happiness in your bank account or whatever. It's enjoying the journey and having a great attitude. What piece of advice would you give yourself if you knew what you knew now going back to when you started?
I like I said, I've made some little mistakes, I would say, along the way with regard to social media. So I think that mainly with regard to like, don't buy the shit that they send to you, those bots. So there's some little pieces of advice, but as far as like holistically, I think the biggest piece of advice that I would give myself is to take a step back and enjoy the journey, because I did not do that initially. So I just want to say real quick, I went through the 15-day challenge as fast as I could so that I could get launched as fast as I could, so that I could do all of this stuff as fast as I could. And now that I'm 6 months in, I am retaking the 15-day challenge. I actually just started it a couple weeks ago, which I'm doing a lot slower. And again, being so inspired by a lot of the things. And I think that's why it's so fresh on my mind, is because I'm redoing that. And so I think just taking the time to really understand the information that's coming into you, and not be in such a rush to get to that point of launching and stuff. And that's not to say that not to launch messy, because no matter what, you're not going to have a perfect launch. It's just not going to happen. But just taking the time to enjoy the journey. That is, if I could inspire anybody to do anything, it would be that, and not be so focused on the end goal, like you said, not be so focused on where you want to be, money wise and all of that. The other part that I want to mention is that my favorite thing that I have experienced in this whole process has been the people. And so I very much am a people person. I love to connect with people. I love to talk with, like, this is so fun to me, sitting and chatting with you. And so I personally have enjoyed connecting with people and getting to know people and being on this journey with others. So, I know that there are people out there that are introverts and extroverts and all of that. But find yourself a few people that you could connect with and go through the journey with, because I feel like those people will help lift you up in times when you're feeling a little down. And you will all have different experiences, and you will all have different things that will come to you, but you learn from each other. And I think that that's really important too. So that would be my pieces of advice. Enjoy the journey and find some connections that you can go along the journey with, because I think that that's helpful. Having a few friends, because like my husband, I talk to him every time, and he's like, oh, what you're talking about. So it's nice to have people that actually understand what you're talking about when you're like having a moment or whatever. So yeah.
Very, very, very true, and such good advice, and just such great experience. Tascha, thank you for your time today, your honesty, sharing your journey. It's been a pleasure. I've had a blast as well. I love doing this and just talking to people, talking to you this morning. I've learned a lot. I've been reminded about a lot of things that are important, and hopefully you all listening have learned a lot as well. I can see from the comments, and thank you all for such amazing comments. Hopefully, Tascha, you get a chance to go back and read them, because that is also what this is about, is receiving good, honest validation from other people, and just being reminded of how far we've come, because sometimes we don't see our own growth, but when we're reminded by other people, it can be very motivating. So hopefully you can go get fed a little bit after you've got done feeding all of us, and come back and see me. Okay, stay legendary, my friend, and Happy New Year.
Thanks. Peace out, everybody.
All right, my friends, you can go and follow Tascha and find Tascha over at Learn to Earn with Tascha. Tascha spelled Tascha. Learn to Earn with Tascha. Tascha over on TikTok and Instagram. What a wonderful conversation, and a great way to bridge the week here on this Wednesday. It is just the beginning of the year. And we all have just this amazing opportunity to be able to live this year the exact way that we want in a new and different and powerful way than ever before, if that's what you choose to do. And we're here to support you along that journey. If you are a client of the 15-day challenge, we encourage you to get in there and really pay attention. If you've upgraded to our blueprints, even more so. If you're looking or wondering how to get started, you can go to legendarymarketer.com/enroll and check out 3 different options there to enroll in our challenge, our blueprints, and attend a mastermind. And we hope to see you in each one of those places, one or all of them. We're just back on Wake Up Legendary tomorrow for another episode. We do this Monday through Friday. If you want a text message reminder every time we go live, text WUL to 813-296-8553. That's the words or the letters WUL, short for Wake Up Legendary, to 813-296-8553. And remember, you can find these replays. They live right here on the Facebook page. We also upload all of the audios to all the major podcast platforms. Just type in Wake Up Legendary, and you should be able to find those. We usually upload the episodes same day, so you can go and review and listen to them as you're working out, walking, driving, all those things. And we encourage you to really give them an honest listen, because there's so much wisdom that's just shared for free here to help support you in your journey as you embark on, our education here and launch your own business online. My friends, this is Dave Sharpe signing out. This has been a wonderful episode, powerful, inspirational. Thank you, Tascha, once again. And I look forward to seeing you and hearing about your journey in the very near future. Keep us posted, keep us updated, come back and see me. And my friends, we'll see you all back here tomorrow for another episode. Be legendary. Stay great. Love you all. Get out of here.